Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of the RaporCap podcast. I'm your host, Mike, the Young OG, back with my co-host.
Tyaunna,
I don't know what I
Lenelle.
was about to say just now, but my co-host. You just announced your name, like Tyaunna.
I thought he gave a space for me to say my name.
I didn't know what I was about to say. It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's been a long week.
It has.
Yeah. So,
Ooh.
and before we even, start, before we get off into a whole nother realm, we was already talking about it last time, and they had me thinking all week, and like so many different people from like Heidelberg and Ozbach reached out. I was like, give me your top 3 like memories from Germany. Because specifically like Onsbach memories.
Onsbach.
Because
Okay.
he was in
A
Cape
lot of
Town,
people from
traitor.
Onsbach did.
Yeah.
Did have things to say.
Facts. Me and Lexi had an extensive conversation.
That was funny. I loved it. Top 3 memories from Onsbach specifically. I would say I had a lot of huge sleepovers. Like, I was big for having huge sleepovers. Like,
Did you have one every year for your birthday?
I did for a little bit. It was like 8 girls would come over. But also, my parents were pretty chill, but my dad was gone. And my mom trusted our friends. But with that, I kind of like pushed the boundaries of that.
Why do I feel like sleepovers was like a thing? Like why do I feel like I heard that through somebody else? Like they're like, oh, Tyaunna having another one of those sleepovers. Why do I feel like that was a thing?
So like, it's crazy because when I was younger, I loved to host and have get-togethers, and that's just an extension of my family, really, because we were that house. Like, we were playing spades, we had the cookouts, we had Thanksgiving at our house, and I think that just passed down to me when I was younger, and I just loved throwing huge sleepovers. And I was like, I had a little itinerary, like, we're gonna have a dance battle.
Oh my gosh, not the dance battle.
We're gonna
Absolutely not. Absolutely
we're gonna
not.
talk, we're gonna stay up all night, don't go to sleep, you're gonna get pranked, we're gonna watch movies. Like, I remember one specific sleepover. My dad, I think he went out that night, so he wasn't at home majority of the night, which was cool. But he told me, make sure y'all are in your room when I come back. Like, don't be up in the living room and stuff like that when I'm getting back in the house, like, late. So I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure probably because he went out and he may have been, I don't know, maybe a little tipsy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like it was 3:00 in the morning. All of us were awake and all of us were hungry. So
Wildin'.
I promise you, I had a line going out of my kitchen. All of us had ramen noodle packets in our hands.
Y'all was wildin'.
All of us had ramen noodle packets in our hands, waiting for the one microwave that we had in our kitchen.
Terrible.
And we're getting through this line, and then all of a sudden, my dad opens that front door, and I promise you, everybody who was talking, everything went quiet. We were just like...
Then you not having one for like a minute after that?
I don't know. I remember, I think I was grounded for one of my birthdays. I had to cancel it.
Yeah. I feel like I remember that.
It was, I
I
loved...
can't remember who said that. I think it was Justice or somebody.
Justice was always there.
Yeah, I felt like Justice said that.
Yeah, Justice was like, she was my best friend. And, okay, so that was one, the sleepovers. Another one was just, I don't know, it's not a specific memory. It's like me hanging out and having a good time with, like, just people, friends, not even just my girlfriends, but like the boys around too, not even in a crazy way, but like, I don't know, did you know Mano and Miguel? Like, they lived in my building. So we would always hang out all times of night. One time I even snuck them into our house. Not anything crazy. Not anything crazy, but like I think I was having a sleepover and we snuck them into our house.
Bro, I remember all of this. It's crazy. Like now it's like coming back to me.
And then we like snuck out. We were like playing, like, I don't know, maybe it was Truth or Dare. I don't know. But then the next day, I told my mom, I was like, yeah, Mono and Miguel came over last night.
Telling on yourself.
Yeah, because like I said, I felt so guilty.
I would have held that till college.
But she was like, they're cool and everything, but don't do that again. I was like, okay. But that's honestly, I will say, I felt comfortable and safe, I will say, telling on myself because I was never punished for being honest.
Yeah, that's good.
So, like, it was a punishment enough, and I think my parents saw it majority of the time. There were some outlandish things that I did, and they were like, oh, no. Like,
yeah, you gonna catch something for this.
Yeah, you gonna get a whooping this time. You gonna get grounded this time. But majority of the time, I really love the fact that me coming to them and just telling them things that I did not have to tell them, they would just sit down and talk to me and be like kind of like what you were saying about your mom last time, like, why did you do that?
Right.
What was going on? And we would just talk through it. And I think they were in awe that they had a child that would willingly tell on myself like that. But I appreciate how they handled it, and it kept me being honest. They would also tell me, like, you know, you got our trust, and until you don't, and when you don't,
right,
it's gonna be real hard for you. So,
third one,
the teen center trips and the SAS get-togethers with Illashine coming.
Yeah. The SAS ones or the YS ones?
Are you talking about teen center or SAS?
Because SAS was
so SAS was like a time in my life,
right? And
it was amazing. It was great. And I always looked forward to Illashine coming.
Oh yeah,
I was going to like the Aquella.
Oh, bro.
Or Palm Beach.
Aquella.
Amazing. But the teen center, like, we went to extravagant places like what was it, Tropical Island in Berlin, or
Italy.
Paris, Italy, London, like, and we would all go together, and we were all so family oriented. It's like going on a big family trip and having a good old time, being on the bus forever. So,
bruh, yes.
yeah, just a lot of amazing memories. What about you?
Dang. I see my first one. I'm going to do mine in order. My first one is definitely the summertime. Because I feel like we had nothing to do in Illashine at all. We had nothing to do. So we would literally just be creating stuff to do and be getting in trouble and running, like, every time we got in trouble. So I feel like summertime's definitely. Definitely.
We would walk around.
Yeah.
Walk all day, everywhere.
At the skate park, like, doing stuff we have no business doing on bikes and rollerblades on the in the skate park, the little dip thing, whatever it's called, the half pipe, like, doing that.
So
like,
did you know Malik?
Which one? Hurd? Yeah.
What's it? No, not Malik Hurd. Malik Cotton. Remember?
Basketball player.
Yeah. Remember how he fell at the skate park, broke his front teeth.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That was crazy.
Ever.
That was crazy.
That would have been one of those scenes where you're like, you can't come to me.
Bro, but it's crazy because, like, the stuff we was doing was like that was.
It was
normal.
wild.
It was normal though. Like, that story we heard, it was like, dang, bro, you remember when you fell and you did this and this? I'm like, yeah, he got it this time. Like, but I don't think that, to me, when I heard that, I was like, ooh, but it was never like, oh, like, that's pretty bad. It was just like, dang, that's crazy, and keep it pushing.
You know what? It's crazy to me how, like, diverse, we had a diverse group of people, but also just everybody was so open to doing not everything, but like
everything.
Just everything. Like
basketball
players, skateboarding, and everybody just commingled. It was wild.
I think really it simplified it for, I ain't gonna be racist, but it simplified it for the black people. Like Ilisham, like wasn't as big as Carterbuck, but you don't want to do no walking. Like imagine walking every day in 100-degree weather from where you live to the bowling alley
or the movies.
I'm about to get
Burger King.
I'm about to get a skateboard or a scooter, or I'm about to get a bike. Like there's no in between. But
the girls will walk everywhere.
Yeah.
We would walk miles.
Well, y'all would.
Because we would go from the housing.
The girls there would be
to like
on the bikes
PX.
with us, on the little pegs. We'd all be on pegs, like somebody on the front, somebody on the back. That joint was lit.
Do you remember? Okay, so the school was like all the way on one side of base, but the movies was on a whole different base across the street from the base we were at.
Oh yeah, that's because that's where like the Piestra was and
walk.
Stuff. Yeah, y'all had
all
that.
The way.
I never made that walk. I always, when I went to the movies in Carterbuck, I think I was always with Johnny.
Really?
Yeah, so because he would always be like, "Come on, bro, you don't want to do the same stuff every day down there. Like, come on." And I was like, "All right, cool." But I would say
that played one movie.
I would say the summertime for sure. Is my one. My second, probably whenever our teen center moved into the elementary school. You don't remember that when they renovated it?
Yes.
Monumental times.
Why?
Monumental, bruh. Times are like them closing the teen center and we still in the building, like still in the building with the lights on.
That is crazy.
Bruh,
I don't know why y'all would want to do that.
That school was haunted. I don't care what nobody says. That school was haunted. Like a bunch of haunted stories on that drawing.
Why would you want to do that?
Bro, because for what? We're not leaving.
Why would you want to stay in the? We're not leaving.
We're not leaving. Like we don't have anything else to do, or like just times like that. Like we would play. Like we would be at that teen center playing like Manhunt or playing like what was it called? Snake in the Water. Like
Snake in the Water.
Yeah, or Snake in something like that.
What is that,
bro? So basically, like you go on like the playground or whatever, and so. It's somebody blind walking around like the whole time in the sand, like, and they trying to catch you or whatever, and they gotta try to catch you blind, like, mind you. And so if they catch you, or like, they can call Snake in the Water anytime. Mm-hmm. So if you're in the sand and they say Snake in the Water, you're it.
I think I remember that.
Yeah,
game.
So we played that all the time. Like that that was like one of my best memories. That riding bikes, like climbing up. Doing stuff we ain't have no business doing, like stuff like that. So,
man,
teen center definitely is my second one. My third one, I'll probably say the Aquella because we always was at the Aquella. That was lit. Like that
the
pool.
Aquella.
It was one of the nastiest pools. Now that I think about it, ever. But it was
people getting it naked. Naked night.
Not me. Not even. I never went on naked night.
I never went on naked night either. But just the thought of it.
Just knowing, we about to get the common pool that everybody got in, like, people was peeing in that joint consistently. Like, people in that joint swimming, and
but
people
isn't that any community pool?
Yeah, but you, like, it was never, it's like something you don't talk about. But, like, this is like you honestly knew, like, I'm about to get in the pool with somebody who just peed.
Yeah.
No shame. No shame. So, like, that
is true.
Then you had the one that went outdoors. Then you had the wave pool. Then you had the jacuzzi where all the like fat German people that was naked sat in. So I mean, it was
jacuzzi.
Yeah, it was nasty. So it was. Then you had the little kiddie pool that you literally could lay down in and not be underwater.
I think it was crazy because we would change in the same place where all the German civilians
and
would
they
change
did not care.
Full, like, you're a young kid, like, and you're an American young kid seeing all these typically old naked bodies. It's just wild because I just remember being a kid and you were like, the first time you're just shocked, like, what's happening? Because they just don't care. Body image is like not as big of a thing, I think, over there. It's just it is what it is. Like, this is my body. it's what it is.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't miss about Germany. So
they're more free.
Yeah, they can keep that freedom. They can keep that joint to themselves. But yeah, I say that's my top 3.
Okay.
I'm probably missing out on something somebody's gonna say to me when this drops and be like, "Bruh, remember this and this and this?" Because the bowling alley nights was good.
Games.
Actually, that's what it was.
The basketball games.
No,
I said the basketball games.
Yeah,
I missed that for me.
We didn't really have basketball games like that.
Like at the middle high school.
Yeah, we had to find a way up there. So.
Oh, y'all didn't ever stay like after school?
Not for real. We all had to come back. I think the only person that really stayed like that was like
people on the team,
older, like Johnny, DeMar, like they was already older. But
okay, I was about to say because
we was all younger.
Johnny and DeMar, they were there at that basketball game.
Yeah,
when I embarrassed the mess out of myself.
I believe it. I was gonna say the movie theater though. The movies. Okay. It was lit because we used to go there and cut up, like being there, Joe, laughing loud, talking loud. And now I'm like,
no, it was fun.
Now I'm like, dang. It was. Now I hate them type of people in the movie theaters, but we was them kids. Like at a rated R movie, we had no business being at. But our parents signed for it, or you get somebody else's parents to sign for it and get the tickets for you, whatever.
Oh my god!
And then you just in there cutting up, back row, just
acting crazy.
But good times. So yeah, that's my 3.
Okay, that's solid. That is solid.
Now.
Okay. Why am I nervous?
I want to smoke with this episode. So shout out Jaritza, because she definitely is responsible for this episode. I definitely got to shout her out before anything. But I'm gonna just say this.
Okay.
So we was having a conversation, very detailed one. It's basically like, why are all the things that are not supposed to be like glorious about the opposite sex like glorified? So stuff like, it's stereotypical to be like, oh, Hispanic women have attitudes, and nice guys finish last, which is actually part of the title, and you know, I want a woman with attitude until they don't, and then they realize I hate it here.
Yeah.
So like,
ooh,
I think for me, I want to get your perspective on the piece on why it's a stereotype that women don't like nice guys. Like they like the butthole or the hood dude. Like they like all the edgy stuff, quote unquote, about dudes, or like the stuff. And then when it comes to like a regular guy who's like just trying to treat you right, you're just like, no, why are you trying to do that?
Okay.
Yeah. So I just tell the people what they want to hear. They want to hear the truth.
Okay. My perspective is that when it comes to like nice guys, I like nice guys. I don't like corny guys. And that's I think it can be a fine line. I like someone who treats me well and who my family looks at as, oh, he's a nice guy. He has his stuff together, you know. I don't like a lot of bad boy behavior because I view it as like, I hate arrogance. Like I hate it. It's such a turn off to me. And because my sisters and I were provided for by our dad and you know, when we were younger, and my mom, of course, by both of our parents when we were younger, and we saw, you know, a couple really, you know, continue to fight for their marriage and through the good times and the bad times. I don't need anybody to supply anything for me. And I work really hard for what I have. Well, I will also say, though, I know that I can lean on the people that are in my life. So I'm not saying that I'm this just solely independent woman that doesn't need a man.
All right, yeah. Just a little disclaimer.
Yeah.
A little disclaimer.
Little disclaimer.
Yeah.
because I do feel like we need each other.
Mm-hmm.
And with the life that I want to have, I do need a man.
Right.
And
Period.
but back to the nice guy thing, though, I do like a guy that can fit into a lot of different spaces. Like, we can go to the more upper class spaces, or, you know, have fun at a club if we decided to go to a club or something like that, you know? But I don't know how to explain corny. Like, I think it differs for different people.
I was about to say, because, like, I feel like that's
it's very
matter
subjective.
Of, like, yeah, it's a matter of opinion. Like, how corny. Because to me, like, I hear a lot of women just like, he's just too nice. Like, he's just too nice. Like, I don't want you to do this. When I do this, you need to like, they want you to be. They think it's assertion, but it's like you want him to be aggressive. But like, even then, you're still meeting aggression with aggression.
I think being nice is extremely cute. I really do. And especially if I like the guy. Now, I think that a lot of different layers go into it. Like, if I like somebody, say I think someone's extremely attractive, I like them a lot, they're kind to me, they show that they care about me, and they want me like I want them. All that goes into play when it comes to whether maybe I may consider something corny or not. Unfortunately, it's that, maybe that's why there's no concrete thing. Because, for instance, if one guy that I don't like is doing something, maybe say a guy that I don't like writes me a poem, and I'm not feeling him like that. So maybe just naturally I feel kind of like, ugh, why is he doing this? While if a guy that I do like writes me a poem and it actually is pretty good, and maybe he doesn't do it like every day, you know, it hits well, then I'll be like, oh, that was sweet, you know.
So what's the difference? What's the difference besides the obvious physical attraction between a dude who's doing naturally, like he could be a friend, the dude who's doing everything that you desire and look at and be like, yeah, that's what I want, then the dude who's like giving you half effort, or he's not really doing that, or you have to prep and prime him, but he looks good?
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to restate that question.
So what's the difference between somebody who's already doing, like, they already meet the requirements, like, and they're going above and beyond, versus, and it's natural, versus someone who is not natural for it, and you have to prep and prime them, but you're attracted to them?
I think the stage that you are in your own life. I think anybody who's ready to be treated well will clearly see the obvious.
Oh yeah.
No, I said, that's why I said it's the stage that you are in your own life, because I do believe that when you've gone through certain things, or you're just like, I just want, you know, and not in a I'm gonna settle type of way, but like, I just want someone who I do find attractive, who I do want, and who does treat me well. That matters. Like, that really does matter.
See, I feel like stages of your life do matter. Not even gonna hold you. But I had a friend, and he wanted this girl so bad, bro, like so bad, and she was like, kind of, it felt like she was kind of leading him on, but at the same time she was showing interest. So I guess they was talking, whatever. She decides to keep kicking it with this bum, like that. She was very how should I say, vocal about her being, you know, frustrated, and she's done, blah blah. He sat there and listened to her, you know what I'm saying? That's how they started, you know, talking. So then at the end of the day, she kind of just was kind of leading him on, like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, selling dreams, and then, but never would, like, you know what I'm saying, capitalize or like execute what she was talking about. So then she ends up getting back with a bum. And then my homeboy, he's just like, that's crazy. My homeboy, fast forward, is in a long-term relationship, about to get married. And she hit him up and she was just like, I'm so happy for you. Like, I didn't know what was in front of me until it was gone. Like, you were a really good friend to me. Like, basically the whole this should have been me type thing. But my thing is, nah, you knew it, because any woman that I feel like openly acknowledges, dang, like, I appreciate everything that you do for me. Like, you really look out at it. If you're going and making those affirmations to somebody, you know what that person brings. And you know how you feel about that person off rip. So then what's the point of sending that dang, like, I didn't know what I had until it was gone? No, you knew what you had when it was there.
I think that's just a cliche line to throw out, you know, like, oh, I didn't know what I had until it was gone. So I do believe that is true for some people. But like you said, I also believe that people do know what they have a lot of the time. They just don't think that
it's for them.
They don't think that it is going to leave. They think,
yes,
I believe that some people do know the value of the person that's in their life, but they think that they have more time with them than maybe they do, if they don't start treating that person right.
See, I feel like a lot of women get into like, he's a nice guy, but he just doesn't, like, he just missing this. Like, if he had this, like, they be trying to do the same thing that men do. Like, you trying to take a look, you trying to build a man.
Yeah,
like,
build a man.
Like, it's Build-A-Bear or something. Like, you trying to build a man. No, you can't do that. It's like, oh, I want him to, if he was just a little bit more aggressive. Like, but if you change that aspect about that person who's, like, affirming, like, very affectionate, like, just any qualities about that, like, you tweak one little thing by making them, like, more assertive, like, maybe they're not as soft with you in the areas that they need. So it's kind of like, how do you, like, deal with this one person who's giving you this one thing that you're just like, oh, I'm so attracted to it, and then not even mentioning physical, like, just like characteristics or traits that they have, and then you're looking at somebody on the other end and be like, man, if only you had this.
Okay, so as you're talking, I'm thinking, and I think another key aspect is, I don't think any woman wants a man that they think, not that they can, but that they think that they can walk all over.
I knew you was going to say that.
And a lot of times, just for people in general, kindness is taken as weakness.
That's what I was about to say.
And when it comes to women that want a quote unquote, like, manly man, and I do air quotes because like, what is a manly man? I mean, there are characteristics that we look for that I guess y'all are, you know, raised to know or learn. But one of the things that makes a man look manly is someone who can kind of, like, just hold his own, like, stand firm. And sometimes, like I said, kindness is taken as weakness. I'm not saying that that's right, because I don't believe that to be true. But I need to see that you're strong. And maybe I do want to see how we disagree. Not to say that we fight, because I'm not trying to be in a tumultuous relationship where I'm fighting with somebody all the time. But I do want to see, like, how we disagree. Can you, like, stand firm and, like, put your foot down with something? And how do you do that? Because also that's a fine line too.
Assertion and control.
Yeah. Well, assertion and control, because you're not going to control me. But also, I don't want to see this loud, aggressive person either. That's just not what I'm about. Like I said, I don't want to be in an argumentative relationship. That's, like, one of my biggest, like, no, I'm not doing it. Because peace is so important for me to have, but also for me to provide within my relationship. I want to be a safe place, but I also need that safe place for myself within a relationship. So with that being said, I need to see that you can stand firm and you can hold firm to what it is that you stand for, believe, even if we disagree on something. And that can be seen in different things. Like, you don't always have to disagree with me, but just like different things that come up, I'm going to see how you handle certain things. And say if you're super like passive, or even sometimes passive aggressive, it's just not attractive, especially not in a man. I think being passive is not a good thing for anybody, nor passive aggressive, but I think in a man it looks worse for women than a woman that's passive to a man, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like it's a thin line, because why, like, I feel you on the testing piece, but it gets to an extreme sometimes with women to where it's like, why are you, like, when I ask you not to do something, now you're gonna, like, you're fighting me until I make you, like, I'm telling you, like, no, don't do it.
Like, what do you mean by,
like,
what testing
like the
are you talking
so
about?
like the difference between please whenever, like, please let me know when you're home. Like, and she's like, okay, cool. Or she's like, no, I'm not telling you when I'm home, blah, 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 blah. But that's an agreement you guys have. And then versus, yo, didn't I tell you to tell me when you get home, blah, 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 blah. And she's like fighting you back on it. You like, I said, don't do it again. And then she's like, ooh, you're upset. Like, I bet. Like, so women, a lot of women are more
some
like,
women do get turned on by stuff like that.
Because there's a
mean,
man who wants to do that all the time. Like, why do I have to flex my quote unquote authority or my assertion for you to listen? Why can't you listen when I ask you to?
Well, see, this is where people are different, and that comes into play, because there are some women that do get turned on by that do want that, they want to keep their spark alive through, like, almost like having tough times in a sense, like
That's
the
so
whole
toxic.
sense of like makeup sex and stuff like that. But also on that flip side, there are men who also get turned on by stuff like that, and women too.
So
it's
that's the
just,
other part.
I think it's about where you are in your life, what you want in a relationship, and if y'all want the same thing. What is your idea of a good, healthy, passionate, just a great relationship, romantic relationship? What is your idea of that? And what is my idea of that? And do we align? Like, does it go together? Because if not, if you think a cute little relationship is one that, I'm going to pick on you, we're going to argue. I do think picking is like, it can be cute.
It's a love language.
Yeah, it could be cute. But also, I don't know. It just, y'all have to have an idea of a relationship that goes together. Y'all have to mesh.
Yeah.
And some people want to like have a rah-rah type of relationship, while other people are just like, I just want to relax. Like, can we just Netflix and chill? Like, seriously, can we watch a movie?
But also that, I think that plays into the narrative too of like, okay, you feel like you want this dynamic with somebody, but really it's really not healthy for you. This whole back and forth exchanging relationship, or to where like you're constantly like, I want you to put me in my place. I'm trying to put you in your place respectfully. I'm not trying to literally like hold my authority over you. And then like if it doesn't work out, or he's like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. He couldn't handle me. Like, you gotta be a strong man to handle me. He was too weak. Like, nah, okay, bro.
Now I will say,
I hate that.
I don't like when women, or honestly, or if a man were to say that, I don't like that, because I don't like this idea of testing somebody. Like, say what you mean what you say,
and like that temperament way.
Yeah, like, don't test me, because oftentimes if you're doing something just to get a rise out of me, you may be disappointed. Because if you're trying, like, say you push me away just to think, and you think I'm just gonna fight to come back, you push a little too hard, I'm gone.
Facts.
Like, I'm not doing
Facts.
this. I'm not doing this. Playing these games of like this push and pull, or let's see if who can start a fight. I like to see you get. I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel like people a lot of times get really into that. Let me see like how far you're gonna go to the ends of the earth for me,
And then you want to fight for me to stay. Don't do that.
Exactly. No, you just wasted time trying to do something that you didn't have to do. You see what you have in the midst of like argument or turmoil that naturally comes. If you just out here causing chaos for no reason, like
yeah, because the thing is, there are other ways. If you want to find a spark, there are other ways to do it. We don't got to fight to do that. There are other ways to do that. Like, be creative. Fighting is, honestly, it's not creative. And I don't want to be mad at you. Like, if you're my person and I'm yours, I really don't like being mad at the people that are the closest to me, and I hate when they're mad at me. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't like having contention within any close relationship of mine. And when I do start to feel tension, or just like something needs to be addressed, I typically will address it, and not in a rah type of what's wrong with you type of way, but like, is everything okay? Because I noticed that like you just haven't been yourself, or maybe you are yourself and maybe you're just upset about something, but like let's talk about it.
See, you coming at it from like such a healthy point. I'm so proud of you. But like, you have women out here that are literally I feel like it's not talked about enough, but a lot of men out here are traumatized by the way that they have interactions with their mom. So if you have a dude that was literally like badgered and cornered by his mom the whole time, or all she knows is how to like, she's never like soft with her son, that's what he becomes accustomed to, but that's also what he hates. So as he hears it, he responds to it, or he doesn't respond to it well. He's just like, I'm gonna ice you out, because that's what I did with my mom. I just let her yell, get what she needed to be out, and I'll let her have it. Or the flip side, you're not gonna be my mom, so now I'm gonna tweak on you because now I feel like you're doing the most.
But see, then that's when we have to have a conversation.
I feel like a lot of men don't know that though. Like, it's not like common
if I'm
knowledge.
Noticing it, like, and that's why it takes people, you have to be healthy. Like, yourself, you have to be healthy yourself before you get in a relationship, because when you yourself are healthy, you can spot the BS, and you can spot the inconsistencies, or the things that are just like, what's going on there? Like, I love you, but like, I can't keep doing this. So how can we either work this out? Because I'm noticing this thing, and I feel where you really lay out your boundaries, and whether or not they respect them, you have to hold firm to your own boundaries for your own health.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people do have issues developing boundaries and also holding firm to them. I know I did for a long time. I didn't even know what my boundaries were for such a long time. And the only reason I think I have an idea of what they are and I can hold firm to them is because my job literally pushed me to do that. It not even a relationship, unfortunately. It was my job. And then, of course, looking back, I was like, dang, okay, right there, a boundary was crossed. Or right there, I crossed a boundary, because I'm not perfect. But it's about knowing your boundaries, knowing the person that you're with, their boundaries, and knowing whether or not we can respect them. Because if we can't, we don't need to be together. And unfortunately, feelings don't matter in that scenario. Because honestly, a lot of people love their abuser.
Yeah, I feel like patience is key with all that, because I feel like when you're in a relationship and you really like in a serious relationship, you embark on a different amount of like problems and things that come up naturally and unnaturally that sometimes you just don't have the answer for it. So for both people, it's like, okay, where's that coming from? And you digging into your person, like, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? And they don't even know how to tap into that spot. Like, it's a different type of patience and a different type of emotional intelligence that you have to have with that person to be like,
absolutely,
all right, cool. Like, we gonna figure this out. Like, we don't have to sit here and you be like, well, you tell me like everything that happened in your childhood, blase, blase, blah.
And I think that's where having, you know, a good level of foresight and discernment and good judgment comes into play, because I think for your person, that is exactly that. That is true for your person. It's not true for everybody. And unfortunately, because a lot of times we do stick around with the wrong people trying to be patient with the wrong people.
I think it's more so a matter of you have to be fair. Like whatever who you're with, like regardless of if they're your person for life or if they're your person for the time.
Treat everybody well. That if you're spending time with somebody, I mean, you
still give them that opportunity.
Give them that opportunity. And we're spending time with people. If you're dating intentionally, you're doing it to figure out if that is your person or not. So I do understand. It's not like we go into every a relationship like, I'm with you, but I know you're not my person, so right. I'm not gonna be patient with you, you know. Like, it's not like that. I understand that, but I guess what I'm saying is that is why your discernment needs to be so good, because when you're in tune with that, you have these inklings when you know, like, I just feel like this ain't right, but you're sticking around because either you love them or maybe like maybe even you see in your head a picture of it being better. Like you see this, I can't think of the word.
Kind of like that. If you could do this,
potential.
Yeah, if you could do this, like we'd be all right.
We'd be great.
Not even thinking like, what if that person doesn't have the capacity? They have the potential, but they don't have the capacity right now to give you that.
So I think honestly, I'm going to be very transparent here. Dive a little deep into my personal life.
Go ahead. We need that. We need that.
I was in a relationship for almost 5 years. And it began my freshman year of college, and it continued after college. And of course, after a certain amount of time, you do start to wonder about marriage and stuff like that. It got to a point, and me and him since have actually had a closure, like, conversation and discussed, like, why our relationship didn't work out, why, you know, certain things happen. Also, understanding our own, like, my part in it, his part in it, and stuff like that. But a big thing for me in agreeing to not be with him anymore was when the topic of marriage would come up, I really had to think to myself, like, because I know that when you marry somebody, you got to marry them for them. Like, if that person were to never change anything about them, could you live with that forever? And my answer to that was no.
Right.
And I can't be with someone hoping that they change.
Right.
Especially when we've given it so much time. And, like, love has nothing to do with any of that. And also, like, he couldn't be with me hoping that I changed. So it's like you got to get to a point, and hopefully it doesn't take years and years and years to be like, you know, I don't think we're fit for each other, or maybe we're not fit for each other right now. Maybe, you know, who knows what the future holds, but, like, sometimes you really do gotta separate and figure out what is it that, first of all, I gotta work on to better myself, because I'm trying to better myself in every single way possible all the time. But
I feel like men settle more than women, honestly, because men will literally, I've seen it and I've definitely done it. Like, you'll be suffering. Man, it's just part of love. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Woo.
A lot of men just believe that just because, like, also a lot of men don't want to be the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to be the one that's like, oh, you broke up with me, you broke my heart, and you answering like so the way these parents be set up, you broke my daughter's heart, all she was good to you, and blah 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 blah. Like,
You never know both sides of the story.
you really don't know. So that aspect of it also is definitely a toxic behavior too. Like, you don't want to stay anywhere where you feel like your hope or your like faith in the relationship or how you feel about the relationship in its totality is in jeopardy or is not where it needs to be. You should never be in a relationship to where you're just like, I doubt this is gonna do anything, or I don't really feel like it has the potential. You gotta go. You gotta leave that comfort zone. Mm-hmm. That or give it some time. Like, all right, cool. We can just take a couple of days, a week, whatever it is, to kind of reflect on the relationship and see where we're at.
But I'm thinking about what you just said, though, before that, you feel guys settle more than women. And I don't deny that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm thinking, I'm thinking that might be true. Because on the flip side, we, as women, especially if you're going to your girlfriends about your issues, a lot of times girls and women are more like, if he ain't treating you right, you gotta leave.
Facts.
Now I will say that there are a lot of women, including myself, because I'm a relationship type of person. So if I'm with somebody, I promise you I'm gonna give it all I've got until I have nothing left, and that's a lot. It's a lot. I give plenty of chances. I give a lot of understanding. I have an open ear. All of these things, but it's just, I don't know. When it comes to relationships, nowadays especially, I understand that there's patience that is lacking and the want to like grow with somebody and knowing and understanding that the person that you're with is going to disappoint you. They are possibly going to hurt you, and let's turn it around. You will disappoint them and you will possibly hurt them. And it really is that everyday commitment and choice to love them, not as a feeling, but as a verb. And to show them love and to extend that love even when it's difficult, even when you don't necessarily care for the person at that moment. Like, can you see past that and like love their core? It's hard to explain because it's hard to comprehend in this, especially in this generation.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if I made any sense just now.
Yeah, you did. I lost my point. Well, no.
Sorry.
The settling piece, I would say it's true because you see a lot of times whenever it gets down to the wire, men have this like laundry list of things that they just pull out at the end, and they're like, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't listen to me,
yeah.
da, da, da. And then like the woman's like, that's a lie. You've never said this to me before.
You've never said this to me before. You've always loved my cooking before.
Right. And it's like, no, bro, I just love you. I hate your cooking. I hated everything. You can't cook.
That is too funny.
So I feel like it's true because men just hold that in, just hold it in. And they're just like, all right, right. Because the women, y'all feel y'all emotions so passionately. Not to say that some men don't, but women are emotional creatures. So naturally, it's just like, And a lot of men either don't know how to handle those emotions, or they're just like, I'm going to let you have it because I really don't want to deal with the side of actually having to get to a resolution and fight. I'd rather just hold my peace and hope that it goes away. Like,
which, as you just stated,
exactly
does
never
not
works.
work.
Never works.
Because then that's not fair. Like, if I'm sitting here thinking everything is cool, and then you throw a whole laundry list of things that I thought you were okay with, like, whose fault is that?
Or it ends up being, I'm like, you got to get it together or I'm leaving. Bye. Like, the dude's like, bye. And she's like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, like,
say what you mean and mean what you say.
Blah, blah, blah,
that's
blah.
what I gotta say.
And he just lays her out like, this is because you don't listen, because this and this is why would I want to be in a relationship with you no more when you're constantly nagging about the same stuff that you do and blah blah blah. So I feel like it's that way, and the girl's like, you never told me this. No, like, we can work it out. And he's like, nope, too late. Stand on what you said.
So what do you think about fighting for a relationship? Because I have mixed feelings about it. Like, of course, I believe that you got to fight for your relationship, especially with the bigger the commitment is.
I fight. I don't beg. That's my thing. I fight. Like,
absolutely.
If you got my heart or you got my attention, I'll fight. Friendships, relationships, I'm gonna try my best to make it work. But once I see that it ain't working, like, we gonna have a conversation. It's gonna get to the point to where, like, I'm gonna check out, and then I'm gonna slowly check out of whatever we got going on, because no, you're not listening. Clearly you're not listening, or something's going on. I think, and that's my biggest thing is, for real, I feel like I'm one of the most understanding people, regardless of how much grief I give all y'all, like, friends, whatever. Like,
You're pretty understanding.
At the end of the day, I'm super understanding. Yeah. So if you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, like, if you was like, today, like, I can't do the episode. Okay. Like, Mike, you know what type of week I had. Like, we had a conversation before, you know, I had the type of week I had. I can't today. Okay, cool. I'm not going to sit there and be like, calling.
And I would have understood if you're pissed off.
Right. And I'm not going to call like 8,000 people and be like, yo, you know what she did? Like, this and this. Like, that's just part of what it is.
It was a rough week, y'all.
It was just a rough week. So I would have understood. So for me, I feel like if you don't give me the opportunity to understand, or if you're just, like, moving a different type of way, like, I will tell you when I don't like something. I'll be like, yeah, that right there, don't do it again. I don't like that. Or you can move that way, just not with me. Yeah. So you're gonna have to figure that out in relation to me. Yes. Because for me, I get, like, I'm so locked in on the fact that you can't tell people, like, you can't control what people do. That's why, like, people ask me sometimes, like, somebody asked me, like, in a relationship, that, like, do you care if I post these pictures, like, even though, like, they're a little illuminating, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I care. I'm like, and if I were you, I would do it, because I wouldn't do that to you. But do what you do. But do what you want to do, because
let me see what you want to do.
At the end of the day, you're going to do what you want to do anyway, so why do I want to control you or try to manipulate you to not do something? And then finally, like, if I do something to piss you off, now you're using that to, like, rebel and be like, boom, now I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you're not going to resent me for thinking that, like, I'm telling you what to do, even though you don't want to do it, or I'm telling you not to do something even though you want to do it. You're not going to resent me for that. Do what you want to do, and I can see it. And if I don't like it, I can say something. If you continue to do stuff that maybe I find disrespectful, maybe it's just not going to work. Right. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like I said, we live and we learn, you know.
Because I was the opposite of how I felt before. I'm like, you ain't gonna do it with me, and I don't care what you say.
You think that you have this ownership of somebody for being with someone, and it's just not that. Like, see what other people want to do. See what people want to do with you. Like, if you don't want to talk to me, like, say I'm with somebody, and they don't want to talk to me for a week. And I'm like, rather than blowing their phone up and being like, why don't you want to talk to me? Oh, so you're going to ignore me? You know, all this crazy stuff.
See, now you ignore me, it's over. You ignore me for a week. Yeah, no, don't even hit me.
But like, rather than blowing them up, like, oh, okay, I take note. If you think everything's okay with that, and if the situation is in a way where maybe it's important enough to talk about, then maybe we'll talk about it. But honestly, at that point, especially if you know how I am and you know what I value and you're just not doing that, I see, okay, you just don't care enough. Not that you don't care, but you don't care enough. And that's not going to work for me. And I see what you want to do. And you can keep doing that. You just can't do it with me. So maybe you can find somebody else that you can do that with. And that's not even being petty. It's fact. Like, if I have an issue with it and you're not willing to change something, which is fine, you have every right to behave the way you want to behave and do what you want to do. It just may not work with me, like you said. So I'm sure you'll find somebody that it does work with, and it's just not going to be with me.
Man, you're great. I'm not waiting out a week for you to, after the first couple of days, I'm like, all right, I'm going to pull up. Hey.
It depends on the type of relationship.
If you need, I don't care. I'm not going to violate nobody's house, or I'm not violating nobody's parents' house. If you're still with your parents, whatever, I won't pull up, but I'm for sure going to scope. Might do a little drive-by real quick, like, all right, you at home, all right, you want to ignore it, all right, cool. But you ignore me for a week, you can go ahead and call it a dub, because for one, that's one of my biggest deal breakers. Don't ignore me. Don't ignore me. So
same.
If you're gonna ignore me for a week, you can go a whole week without talking to me. Facts, fam. You can go ahead and go a year without talking to me, because that's exactly what it's about to be. I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I don't care if you tell me happy birthday. Oh, you want to ignore me?
Oh my god.
I will hold that joint just like that. Like, okay, cool. No, that's how you want to treat me. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Now I will, like, if it's crazy circumstances, if something happens.
Yeah,
then
like something
I'm like,
traumatic.
Okay,
but
I'm understanding.
But we're at that age to where you can still communicate.
You can still let me know.
Send that disclaimer. Hey, I'm going through this, or this happened, so I'm like, all right, cool. Take as much space as you need.
Yeah, at you that point, still let me know.
Yeah, at that point, I'm like, I really want to talk to you, but I get it. You need your space, whatever. Just, you know what I'm saying, whatever. And I might do it like a pop-up text or like a check-in text, like, hey, just checking on you, make sure you're good. Yeah, I'm straight. Still want my space. All right, cool. Like, keep it pushing like that. But you ignore me for a week, you lost your mind. Yeah, you out of your mind. But also, so on the men's side of it, it's like men settle more, but also they have this. I was talking to my friend about it. They have this, like, and I was guilty of once upon a time. I did some self-reflecting this week, but women with attitudes, it's like men are just so attracted to, and it's like a specific type of attitude, like a "you're not gonna tell me what to do" type, or like the clap back attitude. Men are just like, oh my gosh, you hear how she talk? And it's specifically like,
I think they confuse that with banter.
Right.
You know?
That, or like, oh, I like how like confident, or like she's strong or whatever. And it's like, or she's toxic. Or
she's argumentative.
Yeah, like.
Or that person is just, what are they? They just confrontational.
Nutty.
You said nutty?
Nutty. That's exactly what they are. Because, like, it's a big stereotype. Like, okay, black women have nasty attitudes.
Oh,
and
gosh.
Hispanic women have the strongest attitudes that you can't get rid of. Blase, blase, blah. But at the end of the day, everybody has attitudes.
Everybody has an attitude in some way. And when put in the right situation, you can see it. But I've also... There are women within just specifically both of those categories that you just stated that are the sweetest people on the earth.
Facts.
That really don't display attitude barely ever.
Yeah.
So just stereotypes, and it's wild to me that men, I'm going to use your example, that men find that so attractive to be so argumentative.
Oftentimes, the thing that, like, a lot of traits and things, like, that you care about and that you look at, it's kind of like they're shallow, low key, and they're kind of like, how do I say, the stuff that you like really like about a person, oftentimes if it's not solid, like, or it's not about their core, it's just about some personality things, are often the things that you grow to resent. So somebody like that you think like, oh yeah, she always got something to say, like she be going back and forth, blah blah, you start to hate that because now whenever you trying to like talk about something serious, she's like, well, da 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 da. I'm like, bro, you don't gotta have the last, like, you don't have to have the last word about this. Like, you could literally just be like, okay, cool, nah, I gotta say something. Like, you have that side of it, and then people was like, oh yeah, like, I just love that they're like, they get my sarcasm. And then like you're in an argument and you're like, oh yeah, because you're the smartest person in the world, and they're like, what? It's like a different type of like, now you're just, but it's like, no, that's what you loved about them. When everything's cool, that's okay. But now when everything is heated, not leave that part of you out. That was a part of who they were the whole time.
Yeah, and your eyes are just being open to it. But the question is, can you live with it or not?
Yeah. It's like it's like the thing that you love about a person the most. It's like, oh, I just love that you're so loyal. But it's like when you're trying to convince them to leave their job because they're literally getting raped in pay. It's like, nah, I'm not leaving. They did this for me. They gave me an opportunity when nobody else will. It's like, dang, well, now we got to suffer through another year, all because it's got to be obvious that they're being disloyal. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They said they were doing this, this, and this, and this.
It's really wild, but you also see those couples that have been together forever that are like that as well. Like, I love that my husband or my wife is just so, they always have something so nice to say. They always just know how to light up a room. But I hate almost the same thing. Like, I hate when I'm having a bad day. Maybe
they're just super positive,
you know, but it's not a deal breaker.
Right.
It's like, you know, so I think the biggest question is truly like, but can you live with it though? That irritation, that thing that really it grinds your gears. It gets on your last nerve, because everybody's going to have that thing or those things, but can you deal with it? Can you live with it truly?
I think the key to that question is like two things, which is moderation and balance. So somebody, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't know how to say that.
What?
Nah, I'm like, somebody like me, I'm gonna be sarcastic 1,000% of the time, most of the time, unless like we're in a really serious thing. But sarcasm, it's just how I communicate sometimes. I'm just like, I can't help it. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, now I'm gonna really be sarcastic because you don't get it, and then you're gonna be thinking the whole time, oh well, you said this and this and this. Yep, totally sarcasm. Like, not my fault you didn't get it, but
like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
So with that, like applying that to like a relationship, like, you have to have a balance somewhere in there, because nobody wants to hear you be sarcastic.
No, that's
all the time. They can be like, okay, bro. Like, they're not even going to want to talk to you. And moderation, like, doses. Like, you don't want to just...
And knowing when is the appropriate time and when it just is not.
Right. In the morning time, I'm not really up for anything. Like, I'm not up for your sarcasm. I'm not up for words. I'm not up for your oxygen. I'm not up for human interaction. I'm up for food. And up because I'm asking God, why am I up?
I'm not expecting you to go there.
Yeah, no, like I'm not expecting. I don't want any of that in the morning time. And you have to know that about your person. Like, okay, when, like, this is not the time. And it's so hard. I know for me, because I'm like, it's like certain times, like, I'll have like my best friend to be venting about something, and she'll say something, and I'll be like, oh, this is a good joke, and I'm like, dang, let me keep it.
I was just about to say, or like, say I was gonna say woman, but it could be woman or man is talking to you about a huge insecurity of theirs. That is not a time to joke. Like, not, especially depending on the mood that they're talking about it. Like, if they're joking about it, okay.
Right. I just, maybe. You can't preface your statement with "don't laugh." I'm gonna laugh now because you said don't laugh.
But if they're like seriously like kind of down about maybe an insecurity or like, does this look right on me or am I getting bigger? You know, and they're actually like down about it or concerned about it. Don't say, yeah, you getting fat, just to be sarcastic and then be like, no, I was just joking. No, that was not it. See, that wasn't the time, nor was that the thing to say.
See, depending on the person, like I have to catch myself because in those situations, I'd be like, do you think you're getting fat? Because you're not going to ask me and corner me. So let's flip this back. What do you think about yourself? Well, I do think I put on a little pounds. Okay, there you have it. You know the answer to your question, so why am I answering for it?
I mean, you can be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just so, okay. So when given that question, I'm sure you've gotten that question.
Maybe like twice. Because people know, don't ask me something you don't want to know the answer to. I'm going to tell you. Do you think this makes me look fat? Fat? No. Disfigured? Yes. Like, there's a difference. Do I
disfigured?
Do I think you're Professor Clump? No. But do I think you look like the number 8? Possibly, yeah. It's just different, you know?
Oh my God.
But
we need that person though.
Right.
Maybe, but that's where I wonder about you. Do you choose the right wording though? Because it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it.
I know all my friends basically like the back of my hand. So I'm like, this is not the time to really say something crazy. Let me say something crazy, but not that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I still have to get it in there so you know that I'm being normal. But at the same time, I understand that, okay, cool. Like this is not the day to such and such and such. Like I feel like even we had that day. You just like, I'm not in the mood, Mike. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
When?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure. You know what?
I think it was like last year.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because I don't have many days.
And he was like, I'm not in the mood. I was like, dang. I can't be a menace today?
No.
Trash.
Please, no.
And I was like, all right, cool.
I don't have many days when I'm down.
I know. That's why I specifically remembered that.
Yeah, but then I have days where I'm just like, a little overwhelmed. Please. I'm laughing to keep from crying.
Don't start.
No, not today. I just don't even feel like laughing with you. Not about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that, I don't know. I like to live on my own cloud nine majority of the time. Even when things are like around me falling apart, I like to try to stay in the zone of, but it's going to be okay. But then I have those days where I'm like, oh no, I'm feeling the weight that I've been getting through is actually starting to get heavier on me today.
And I feel like women do a really good job of balancing that versus men. Like we'll have 1,000 things going on. I mean, outside of, the GOAT dads out there. Shout out to y'all. Happy Father's Day. By the time y'all hear it.
I know. Happy Father's Day is tomorrow.
I feel like men, a lot of times, they like take that heat, and then women, I'm guilty of it too. Women would be like, you okay? Like, you sure you balancing everything? Like, I know you got this going on. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. I'm good. Like, it's just part of life. You got to get through it. All right, cool. And then, like, when something finally happened, they're just like, like, turning into Hulk. And you're just like, you could have easily, nah, bro, because your attitude. And it's like, but my attitude isn't even as bad today, or it's not. I don't even have an attitude, but because you're specifically attracted to that, so it's specifically like triggering you because that's exactly what you automatically think is coming out from that person. It's kind of like, you know?
Yeah. I just, when it comes to spazzing, because I'm like, stresses in life are going to come all the time.
Right.
Like for everybody. So knowing that, and trying to be positive majority of the time, that's cool. But even when I'm not feeling positive, I just can't, not that I can't, because I've done it before, but very rarely have I done it. It's just not our place to put all that onto somebody else. So even if somebody comes at me wrong, it's like, it really does, and it takes practice, because like I said, I've gotten all these tools from the job that I have, because I can't just go off when somebody is maybe talking crazy to me. But, and not only can I not go off, but I in turn have to help them.
Right.
But you just really, if I feel like I can't handle something or handle somebody without going off, then most of the time I'll shut it down. Now, I might do it in a firm way. Because there have even been clients when I'm like, okay, what we're not going to do, I'm not disrespecting you.
Relax.
Like, I don't tell people to relax because that's a trigger word. I feel for some, calm down. No, you can't tell people who are riled up to calm down.
Yeah.
But I will state this. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm not going to sit here and let you disrespect me. So if this is how you want this to go, we're going to end this phone call.
So professional, Tyaunna. I love it. Because I'm going to be like, who are you talking to?
No, you talk to whoever you want. Like,
who are you talking to?
You can do exactly what you want to do. If that's what you want to do, cool. I'm about to hang up, though. So if you continue to go, just know, and if someone continues to go, okay, I'm going to hang up. I don't have to accept that. Mm-hmm. And knowing that allows me to not get so upset when stuff like that happens. Of course, I'm human. Like, I feel even the physical effects of me getting upset. Have you noticed the physical effects of yourself when you get upset?
Yes.
Okay. I feel maybe guys notice that more than girls do.
I definitely know.
I never noticed that until I had to like watch myself, like over the phone with clients. Mm-hmm. Like when your heart starts racing. For me, my heart starts racing. My face gets hot. I just feel it's almost like hot. Anger is like coming up in me, and I'm like, but I can't explode.
That jaw clenches. My leg is gonna be moving at 1,000 miles per hour.
Because I don't do disrespect. Facts. I don't. But I can stand firm to that because I'm not a disrespectful person. Mm-hmm. I don't get disrespectful, or I try really hard not to. Of course, I've had moments.
I'm about to say disrespect. For me, if I'm getting disrespectful with you, that's probably the end of whatever we got going on. Because if you got me to that point, so I'm being disrespectful. Now, will I like be jabbing a little bit? I might jab a little bit and be like, yeah, and you said that about this, and this. Like maybe a couple low blows. Definitely
really?
Guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty of some low blows. Like not like boom, but like maybe like, okay, keep your punches up. Like keep them up. Like don't slip. Don't hit right on the belt line. Like relax.
See.
But it's like, I don't feel like that's my first reaction, or that, oh, you're not listening to me, let me hit you below the belt. Like, it's gotta be
some people are like that.
Yeah, you hit me below the belt on something I told you in confidence, I won't tell you anything, and I probably a spaz. Because I don't tell anybody nothing.
And then somebody throws something in your face that you told them in confidence.
That, or I'll just be like, bet. Bet.
The thing is, I can see you saying that and doing it just like that and looking at them like, cool. Bet. Like,
bet.
I will never tell you
what's
anything
that mean?
else.
Bet.
Dang.
Bet.
That's probably a really scary bet to get in your life. If someone really cares about you, because at that point, I feel, that person has now, like, shut down.
It's over.
It's
and you know I'm competitive. So if I say bet, I'm taking that thing to the extreme. We're going to the championship with that bet. Promise you that. Bet. You won't know nothing. You don't even, by the time you realize what's happening, you probably won't know anything. I'll be a whole different person. I'll have moved, been married. Dang, I didn't see nothing. Because you're removed.
Oh, like that bet is like done.
Like
cool.
You're removed. Cool. Whatever stage in my life or whatever like level in my life that you were, friend, whatever, you're removed from that. You just got demoted. Congratulations. And we could have been acquaintances. Now you're a stranger. You could have been literally a stranger trying to violate. Now you're dead.
But that's that type of bet when they see you do it or they hear you say it. They try to keep you engaged in the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And you've already shut down. And you're like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good.
I'm not even responding after that. Once you get that bet, all right, cool. I said bet. What else do you want? You got your response back. I read what you said. Bet. Now I don't owe you anything because now you really probably didn't piss me off, and I'm like, anything after this is probably not.
It's gonna be really bad. It's gonna be real disrespectful.
I'm not even open to any conversation with you no more. Bet.
Ooh, so do you take say before you get to that point where you cut everything off? How are you with giving someone space if they say they need it before they get to that point of like,
please take it.
I'm about to get really disrespectful.
Please take it.
You're like,
please
okay.
Take it.
So if someone's like, I don't want to talk about this right now.
If you tell me you about to get disrespectful, absolutely.
But it doesn't always sound like that. Sometimes it's literally like, I don't want to do this right now. Like, just like that, like, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about this right now.
I'm more sensitive to that because that's exactly how I be sometimes. Like, I don't want to talk about it right now. And if I say I don't want to talk about it right now and you still press, you're
pushing, you're poking a bear.
Open fire range. Like, you going to get what you get. Boop, boop.
I've learned
flesh wounds. That's
something that I have learned because I was the poker, for a while. Not that I wanted to be. I don't want to antagonize, but I just couldn't let it go. And that's something that I had to work on for myself. Because when someone wants to take that space, let them take it. Because more times than not, your feelings are about to get hurt. And then they're not going to be happy at the end of the day with what they say. So it's just not a good situation.
They're going to be happy with what they said because they've been holding
They're going to be standing by it. Or they're going to be like, I didn't, like, after time was taken after that, I didn't want to go there. That's why I didn't want to talk at that point. Or at least I didn't want to say it like that. But I did because I was pissed and you weren't listening to me. You didn't let me. Have you ever had somebody, like, block your way out? In an argument, like a girlfriend,
and I obliterate my way out. That's one thing I will not be cornered emotionally. What you're not going to do.
What about physically?
You won't. You're definitely not cornering me physically.
You're not leaving.
Girl, move. I'm not playing with you. Move.
Oh no, those are all.
Excuse me.
Very, very. I hate saying the word toxic. It was overused.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it's just not good.
I'm not like yanking you, pushing you, none of that.
Yeah.
If I can't pick you up and move you like that, hey, I need you to come get me because such and such won't move. And it's going to be a girl. I'm not calling another dude. You're not going to catch me on that. It's going to be another girl. Yeah, I need you to come here. Yep, come get me.
Is it over after that?
I don't know.
Depending on how it goes.
I've never been in that situation, so I don't know if it's over or not. I don't want to be in that situation, but just disclaimer. Yeah. But I don't know if it would be over.
Where you call a girl. But has it been in a situation where you have been blocked or no?
Nah, not seriously. I think it's like when we were in Ozbach. Was it Ozbach or was it Heidelberg? I don't know. It was one thing. Some girl just started trying to do something in school, and I was like, I'm about to call Dominique, so you better move. And it was like, oh, okay, let me go ahead and
it's not good. It's not good because once again it goes back to that control. You can't control somebody. If they want to leave, first of all, let them leave because you may not want to hear what they have going on inside of them right now. But also they have the right to leave, and if they never want to come back, that's great. You'll find out new information. Like, exactly. If they never want to come back, that's great information for you to find out because then that's the sooner that you need to do what you got to do to move on. Now, is it that easy? No. Like, feelings do get involved. Your heart may be broken, whatever it may be, but you can't control people. That's how people, like, honestly, unfortunately, that's how some people get hurt.
Yeah, but also too, you gotta watch them type of people too that are just like, it has to be a healthy balance. I'll say with people who are like, I don't want to talk about it right now, or give me some space because like you could be in a situation too, to where it's like, okay, like you're supposed to chase after me, like you let 3 days go by, you ain't say nothing. You said you needed space. Clarify. You clarify. If you're the one that needs space, you clarify. Why am I checking up behind you on what you saying that you need? Oh, that hit something.
If you say that you need space, it is your responsibility if you want to make your partner feel safe in giving you that space. Like, someone is way more receptive to giving you space if they know you are going to prioritize making that time that you didn't make right now, making that time later. And I'm not talking about a week later, like, because I'm giving you what you need, but you also got to realize that I have not gotten what I need.
Exactly. There's no peace in that.
No. So, because some people can take that space and be like, oh, the situation's over. No, it's not. I didn't get my resolve. I gave you your space because you asked for it, but we did not discuss this. Or maybe I do need a discussion. Maybe we don't need the same things at the end of this conflict or disagreement. But if you respect me like I respect you, you're going to give me what I need, just like I give you what you need.
Exactly. Because like I said, there's no peace in that. You got somebody waiting on you or whatever. Like, if they really care about you, like, I'm stressed out. Like, my stomach hurting. Might lose my appetite. Like, all right, work. Like, what's going on? Like,
and I don't want to just, a lot of times, like, people want to sweep things under the rug. Like, I'll give you the space, but we still do need to address this.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we don't come here again.
Nah, facts. Whew. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
But I don't know. It's relationships are a hard dynamic to maneuver.
Yeah.
Especially in today's world, because just so many different things.
Exactly.
So I can't even name how many different things. Social media can be a thing. Communication, love languages and not understanding it. The way that you do disagree, your conflict resolution, just all of these things. Love itself is just never enough.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It just, I don't think it'll ever be enough.
Nah, because there's so much that needs to be coupled along with love in order for it to work.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
Care. Just all of that. All of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
When was your last, like, real relationship where you were like, I don't know, maybe you thought it was going to go further than what it did? Or did you ever?
I'd say probably like college when I was just like, nah. I'm like, yeah, this the one. Like, I ain't gotta worry about it. And then, like, it just took a shift, and it was just like, oh, we still got this. We dealing with this, and like everybody saw it but me, and I'm just like, nah. Like, it's already set in stone. It's a matter of time. And then it's just like, it was good until it wasn't, and it's like, oof, this got downhill quick.
Have you ever been the one that has your heart broken?
Yeah.
How do you deal with that?
Solitude for sure. Like, solitude for sure. Like, if my feelings get hurt, like, I don't want to be around nobody. I don't really want to talk about it. Like, I gotta process that myself before I even, you know what I'm saying? I ain't in there listening to Drake all day, but I definitely just want to be by myself. Like, I don't really want to be in the mix with too many people, just for my sanity. Yeah. And also, I'm like, dang, no, my best friend just hurt my heart, like, just broke my heart, low key, or whatever. So, yeah, that's how I kind of approach it. Leave me alone, everybody.
Even the person?
Depends on what they did. It just depends. Because if you didn't piss me off and hurt my feelings, yeah, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to you. And you want to do that disturbed.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, man. I am who I am.
I don't think I think I've been in both situations. Unfortunately. Because I don't want to break nobody's heart.
Yeah, I don't want to break nobody's heart.
And I don't want to have my heart broken. Which one would you rather do? To be honest, I would rather have my heart broken.
You can't take too much more heartbreak. I'd rather break somebody's heart.
No,
But
I don't want to hurt anybody.
Not like by doing something that was like intentional.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah, if it.
Would you rather cheat or be cheated on?
Neither.
No, you got to choose one. If you were to choose one, which one would you choose? I would rather be cheated on, hands down. No questions asked.
I don't even know. I feel like that comes with too much context.
No, because for me, it's one of those things like, okay, I see what you did. That has nothing to do with my character or me. It might break my entire heart, but it has nothing to do with me. And I can then decide how I want to move forward.
I guess I'll say I'd rather be cheated on because I just don't want to be like that person. Like, you cheated on me, da 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 da. Like you said, I can kind of unpack it better than most people.
Yeah.
So I guess that.
I don't want to do that to somebody.
Ugh. Ooh. Heartbreak gave me the. Ugh. But before we get out of here, I gotta ask you this, John. You better not get it wrong. I don't think there's a wrong answer for real, but I'm just curious.
Oh gosh.
And make it simple. Don't sit here. I feel like you want to dissect this joint. But nope. You just asked me a difficult question. To close it out, I gotta ask you this.
Okay.
In a versus battle, in a versus, who wins?
Oh gosh.
Mariah Carey or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Ooh, why?
I say Beyonce because just everything about Beyonce, like Beyonce has more elements to her.
In a versus, like hit for hit.
Hit for hit?
Hit for hit. Like, no, the actual verses that they do, like hit for hit.
I'm thinking like, who would I rather?
Not discography or whatever it's called. Hit for hit. If you had to sit down and with Tim and
Mariah
Swiss,
has a lot.
Mariah got them things.
But Beyonce does too. Oh gosh, why?
I'm going Mariah, but
I
respect to Beyonce because that's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Hit for hit. I'm gonna still go. I think Beyonce would win a versus battle. I do. Because Beyonce just has, not that Mariah doesn't have a huge following, but Beyonce has like a cult following.
I feel like Mariah could run Emancipation of Mimi for like 10 songs and like sweep
Absolutely.
Beyonce's joint.
With just that one?
With just that one album. And then not to mention like the stuff like One Sweet Day and
I get what you're saying, and this is really hard.
And what's the other song she had? Oh, When You Believe with Whitney Houston.
I love Mariah Carey and I love Beyonce.
It's tough.
That's tough. Maybe I don't know who has more hits. I don't know. But overall, like but see, the thing is, versus battles, they do have a performing element to it now.
Yeah.
That's why I said Beyonce, because Mariah does more standing, and Beyonce would throw it down. There is no, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if I hear We Belong Together versus like like versus Drunken Love, I'm going We Belong Together.
Okay.
Every
Why
time.
would you put those two together?
I don't know. That was just the first two things. I couldn't think of another.
They won't even. Those wouldn't be paired.
I don't even know. But We Belong Together. That's a trump card.
I think Mariah does have more ballads than Beyonce.
But you don't think she has more hits than Beyonce?
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. See, that's the thing.
Now I'm asking because like that Merry Christmas song is like a.
The one that I had on my. Did you see
Mariah Carey's version of that Christmas song?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, like that is like a clothesline from God.
I think Mariah has more hits. I think Beyonce just overall has a bigger and what are my words for this?
So 1-on-1, who winning, Mariah or Beyonce? Who you taking in the verses?
I just don't. I don't think it's comparable.
Nah, it's comparable. If there was a versus, they're the only two that could go against each other.
Mariah and Beyonce.
Yep.
Who would put them two together?
That would be the only people they can go against. There's nobody else on Mariah's Carey.
I don't think it's comparable.
Unless you want to put Mariah against Whitney.
I think that's
Whitney,
more comparable.
I think Whitney wins that, but there's nobody to put against Beyonce. Nobody.
But that's what I'm saying.
But she's the closest person. Because she's in that tweener stage. She's in the 90s into the early 2000s.
I just think it's different.
Who you taking? The people need to know before we get off of here.
This is stressful.
Hey, man. Life is stressful. Got to figure it out.
In a versus battle, I still think by public opinion, Beyonce would still win. I do.
I'll take it.
Huh?
I said I'll take it.
Okay.
You look a little stressed.
Yeah,
like you're sweating.
No, I'm not sweating. But I do think Beyonce would win because, like I said, just overall, just every element to it, I think people would be there. More people would be there for Beyonce than they would Mariah. I think. Do you not think that?
I don't know. I got to think about that one.
Like, I think more people would tune in. More of the Beehive would tune in than...
That's tough.
What are Mariah's fans called?
Fans.
Her fans. That's a hard one. I don't know. That's my answer. But deep down, just know, I don't know. But I will say that that's my answer.
Yeah, I'm going to go in the car and go hit for hit all the way back to the crib. And we're going to figure that out.
I've been listening to Mariah.
Yeah, we're going to figure that out tonight. But
they're not comparable in my opinion. But if you ask me that question and I have to answer, then I think more people would be there for Beyonce than Mariah. But I also don't think people would put them two in the same situation. Because they're different. They're both, like, up there. Both of them. For, I don't know, different draws.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Do you agree with what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a wrap. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for understanding and having me on here.
Of course. So y'all can follow Tyaunna at
Tyaunna Lenelle on Instagram.
Yep, and wait for the album that's gonna come in 2020 never.
Stop.
You can follow me.
It's coming. It's coming. It's like, okay, I'm not even gonna say it.
Yep.
It's coming. It's coming.
Don't even give us
stop. It's
empty
coming.
promises. What do you know?
It's not an empty promise. Remember when I said I was going to be in the studio? Well, I was in the studio. Thank you. And now it's coming. That's all I'm gonna say.
You can follow me at Mike the Young OG.
You're a hater.
On Instagram. You can follow the podcast at RaporCap podcast. On Instagram, if you follow it on Twitter, remove the T and add the 1. And y'all tell Tyaunna that she's capping. Peace.
I'm not.